Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to talk about lesson 2 in chapter 5, which is talking about sensation in man. As we mentioned in the last lesson, that sensation in man is working with the highest efficiency and the highest accuracy. Today we are going to study the nervous system which controls the sensation in man. The nervous system and the endocrine gland system controls all the body activities in man, and the two systems together organize and coordinate all functions of different body organs and the control the relation between the man and his environment. And there is connection between the nervous system and the endocrine glands, which considers as a link and called hypothalamus. Now let's study the nervous system and its relation with sensation in man. In addition of controlling the functions of human body, the nervous system receives the impulse or receives the information in the form of external and internal stimulus through receptor systems and gives the proper or suitable responses to it. Also, the nervous system is keeping the human body in continuous direct communication with his external or internal environments. Also, the nervous system keeps the body in a constant state of balance, which is called hemostasis. But let's give a brief notes about the endocrine glands or endocrinology. Endocrinology, it's the science that concerning studying the endocrine glands. And the endocrine glands, they are the ductless glands with internal secretion that secretes the hormones directly into the bloodstream with a very small amount to perform their functions. Now, dear students, let's study the classification of nervous system. The nervous system is divided into the central nervous system, the peripheral nervous system, and the autonomic nervous system. The central nervous system that includes the brain and the spinal cord. The peripheral nervous system, it includes the cranial nerves, which equal 12 pairs, and spinal nerves, which equal 31 pairs. The last one is the autonomic nervous system, which controls the involuntary muscles and glands and subdivided into sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. Now, dear students, before talking about the structure of nervous system, let's study the structure of the unit of the nervous system, which is called neuron. Neuron or nerve cells can't be seen by naked eye, and it consists from, or its ultrastructure is, it consists of two main parts, which are cell body and cell processes. Cell body contains a rounded nucleus and cytoplasm, and in the case of neuron or nerve cells, it's called neuroplasm. Also, there are another organelles inside the cell body, such as mitochondria and Golgi body, and others except one main organelle, which is called centrosome. As we studied in the last years, that centrosome is the organelle which is responsible for division of cells. So neuron lacks or divides of centrosome, so it can't be divided. There are another small filaments called neurofilaments and other small granules called nasal granules. Nasal granules considers as a unique structures for nerve cell or neuron, and it considers as stored foods. to cell processes. The cell processes in nerve cell are dendrites and axons. Dendrites, many short processes arises from the cell body to increase the nervous surface area to receive the nerve impulse. Most of nerve impulse enters the cell body through dendrites, but others enter through the cell body directly. The other processes is axon, and the axon it's a long cytoplasmic extension of cell body which may reach more than 1 meter in length. It's surrounded by two sheaths which are myelin sheath and neurolemma or the axon membrane or nerve membrane. The myelin sheath it's a white lipid substance that presents in some nerve cells and secreted by special cells called Schwann cells. There are interruptions at certain points in the myelin sheath and it's called Ranvier nodes. The other sheath is called neurolemma or nerve membrane. It's a thin layer that covers the myelin sheath from outside. The axon ends with a group of branches which is called terminal arborization. Now let's study the function of the axon. It transfers the nerve impulse from the body of the nerve cells to the synapse. What is the meaning of synapse? Synapse is the area between two nerve cells or between the terminal arborization of nerve cell and the dendrites of the next nerve cells. So we should notice that the nerve impulse is always propagated and conducted in one direction. It ends the cell body through the dendrites, then the axons, while the terminal arborization transmits them to the synapse and to the cell body of the other cell. And we should notice that the conduction rate of nerve impulses in myelinated axons, which is covered with myelin sheath, is much more rapid than in non-myelinated nerve fibers. This is due to because the myelin sheath is considered as an insulator material and making the nerve impulse move through the Ranvier nodes only. Now, dear students, let's study the types of nerve cells. According to the function, nerve cells are classified into three types: sensory neuron, motor neuron, and connector or intermediate neuron. First, sensory neuron. It transmits impulse from receptors to the central nervous system, which are brain and spinal cord. Motor neuron, which receive impulse from the central nervous or transmit impulse from the central nervous system to the effectors organ as muscles and glands. 3. Connector or intermediate neuron transmit impulse from sensory to motor. Now, dear students, let's study another types of cells, which is called neuroglia. Neuroglia, another type of cells in the nervous system, and have the ability to divide and perform the following functions. First, supportive, as they act as a connective tissue to support a neuron. 2. Insulator, as they act as insulators between neurons. 3. Nutritive, as they control nutrition of the neurons. 4. They have a role in repair of injured parts of some neurons to a certain limits or specific limits. Now, dear students, let's study the structure of the nerve. Nerve consists of a group of nerve bundles. Each nerve bundle is formed of a group of nerve fibers or axons, and connected by a supporting or connected neuroglial cells. Bundle cheese. It's a connective tissue that surrounded each nerve bundles. Finally, the nerve sheath, which is called epineurium, it's a connective tissue that surrounds the whole nerve, a group of nerve bundles and contains blood vessels. Thank you, dear students. See you next time, inshallah. Your biology teacher, Ines Eden. Thank you.